Just south of the Thames, near the old Batttersea power station, is the Turbine Theatre. It's a lovely, small, intimate space with a very welcoming staff, jars of sweets on the bar, and a reputation for putting on some first-rate productions. So I was really looking forward to my visit there for their latest show, a revival of the modern gay classic, My Night with Reg. It's 1985, and Guy, played by Paul Keating, is in a celebratory mood. He's just moved into his new flat and has invited some friends around to christen it. As young painter and decorator, and to be honest, barman at Guy's Local, Eric, played by James Bradwell, finishes painting the conservatory, the first guest arrives very early. Normally, this would be exasperating to any host, but seeing his old university friend John, played by Edward M. Curry, in his home is so exciting, Guy overlooks the social faux pas. The two haven't seen each other for years, and their initial meeting is slightly awkward. This is in part due to John's restrained and slightly aloof personality, and Guy's nervousness at seeing the love of his life once more. The atmosphere changes when Daniel, played by Gerard McCarthy, arrives. Daniel blows into the flat with a bottle of champagne and a toast to gross indecency that breaks up the mood and gives everyone a chance to relax and catch up. As fast as he arrives, and after casting an approving eye over Eric, Daniel departs for a business trip to Sydney, not forgetting to ask Guy to keep an eye on his boyfriend, Reg. Time progresses and there is another gathering in Guy's flat. This one is not so cheerful as Guy, Daniel and John, together with long-term partners Bernie, played by Alan Turkington, and Benny by Stephen K. Amos, are together following a funeral, one of many the boys have attended. The mood is somber and everyone seems to have a secret that they want to share with Guy, and all he wants is everyone to be fed, watered, and just to get along. Now, there are two elements missing in Kevin Elliott's script for My Night with Reg. The first is the eponymous Reg himself, and the second is the word AIDS. They may not be seen or spoken, but both hover over and dominate this story of a group of gay friends trying to have normal lives as a global pandemic rips through their community. Reg may not appear, but we all know what he was like. Let's be honest, we all probably know a Reg, and that is one of the great strengths of the writing here. Each character is finely drawn and recognisable. Not only that, but the relationships between the characters have been worked out to the nth degree. In the first scene, when Guy, Daniel and John are together, the pecking order between them is established with no words being said. You know immediately that, though university may have been a long time ago, they will always automatically drop into their respective group roles whenever they are together. However, the only slight odd note is the pairing of Bernie, who is a conservatory-obsessed bore, and Benny, a Cockney bus driver with wandering eyes. Whilst I loved each character separately, there was something about the relationship between the two that didn't quite sit right for me. And at the end, I was wondering why they had actually put up with each other for as long as they had. However, the personalities of each character have been translated from the page to the stage perfectly, thanks to Matt Ryan's astute direction. Little things define the characters. For example, the strange and restrained way that Benny hugs people. The attention to detail Eric, who I have to say his dungarees are way too clean for a professional painter, but the attention to detail he gives his painting, and the silences between characters that speak volumes. One of the other things I really loved was the transition from scene 2 to scene 3, and not for the reason that you might think if you know the play. It's a smooth movement that goes from one to the other using a piece of music to link the two. Beautifully done. Another thing that really impressed me was the attention to detail, which is obviously important in this production. And I think this is really highlighted by the fact that in scene 3, Daniel is soaked when he comes into the flat after walking in the rain. Poor guy was dripping. When it comes to the acting, I don't think it can be faulted, and here I'm going to really single out Paul Keating. Of all the characters in the show, Guy is the one I most identify with. Getting on in years, single, but in love with someone that doesn't necessarily love them, being the one people talk to, a bit socially awkward, and the person everyone calls nice. The worst word in the English language. Guy and I have really so much in common, and Keating brings all that to the stage perfectly. And he's helped in that by Lee Newbury's set and costume design, which is not only very realistic, but is pure Guy. My Night with Reg is not a feel-good play in any respect, but surprisingly there's a lot of humour in what could be a pretty depressing script of a dark time. It's the story of the vulnerability of people trapped by their own personalities, forced to assess their loves, lives, and desires. And thanks to the strength of this production, it feels as relevant today as it did when first performed in 1994. I gave My Night with Red 4 stars on London Theatre 1. I hope you liked this review. If you did, then you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.